Hi, it's Louise. This past week in my world, I had to make a choice on something, and it wasn't even anything all that earth-shattering. It was a choice in choosing a contractor to do some work on my house that needs to get done. And I made it the mother lode of all decisions. And I know I've dealt with in the past, and I thought it might be something that you deal with too. And it's something that I've talked about with my clients and something that I've done videos on in the past as well. Well, not that many, maybe a couple of videos. So I wanted to bring back up the tools that I used because I thought if I forget to use them, and I went all up in my head about making this decision, and not that we don't need to be rational, I can't even say rational about making decisions sometimes. Sometimes we just have to tap into the energy of making a choice. And another thing that's really good to remember is that there are no wrong choices. I know this could be a really difficult one for you. It's been a really difficult one for me, the concept that there are no wrong choices, but there really aren't. If we choose something and it doesn't turn out the way we hope, or it's something that ends up costing us money or bad relationships, and that's what I was going into, was the money thing on choosing the contractor, because there was quite a variance in the dollar value of the quotes I got. And I thought, like, one of them was really expensive of them, and one of them was, a lot less expensive. And it was like, and a lot of people go, oh, we'll just go for the one that's in the middle of the road. And, I thought, okay, well, maybe I should look at the high-end one and absolutely top quality products. And, my whole house could fall down and this part of it will last forever. And I don't want to do the cheap one because, okay, if it's the cheapest one, that's not the best idea. So we can often get really up in our heads about making decisions. So here are some of the more energetic tools that I've learned that take some of that nonsense out of trying to make a decision and getting into the place where you freeze. And maybe this is only me, but I took way too long. Like, it was only about a week to make the decision that it took me to choose. But it actually didn't need to take me that long. And I could have made a decision like 2 days ago. And finally this morning I said, okay, enough of this BS. Kim, I was sitting down at my computer and I said, you are making a decision on this. No more farting around. Like, just get her done. And here's some of the really beautiful tools that you can use. Now, those of you who know the Access Consciousness tools know the light and heavy. And everybody has their own light and heavy meter. And that's because we all have this really strong internal knowing. And that can be a feeling of, like, light can be, yes, this is something you should proceed with. And that's usually just like a feeling in your gut. Like, we all have this internal knowing. So you may feel something in your gut, you may feel it in your chest, you just might feel a bit of like a And so some of the questions, and this is definitely an Access Consciousness one, you can say, okay, for me, picking a contractor, I said, okay, if I pick this one, what will that create? What will my life be like? Not look like, what will my life be like in 5 years if I go with this contractor? What will my life be like in 5 years if I go with contractor B? What about contractor C? So I played with that. And why they suggest you go out 5 years is, if you're in it right now, you're kind of feeling the energy kind of funky. If you go out 5 years, it kind of takes it out far enough that it kind of takes you out of your head. Another really simple one is to just choose it. Now, I know you're saying, but you're trying to make a choice. So what it is just choosing it in your head. For instance, say I have contractor A, B, and C that I'm trying to choose. Maybe you're trying to pick person A, B, or C, or maybe you're trying to pick A, B, or C choice in a business thing, or whatever it is. What you can do is just choose one of them. Say, okay, and like really make the choice. Like, don't fart around with it. Like, tell yourself, this is it. Okay, I'm choosing A. And say, okay, I'm done. And then just kind of walk away from it. And you could be walking away for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. And just like, oh, see how you feel with that. And then after a certain time frame, whatever that it was for you, say it's 30 minutes, change your mind and say, nope, I'm picking contractor B or choice B. And then see how that feels. Then go, okay, I'm choosing choice C. And it might even just be 2 choices, but whatever you got, you're getting what I'm putting down here, right? And that was one that worked really well for me. because we all have an internal knowing. You know what you know. So when you get out of the head and get down into your heart or into your knowing, because your body is such a great meter on telling you what you know. And another one that works really well for me, especially if there's like two choices, is get a coin and flip it. Like get a coin and say, okay, if it's heads, it's this choice, and like flip your coin. And when that coin lands and you're slapping it on the back of your hand and you're seeing what it is, you'll know. Because if you've picked heads and it shows up tails and you go, oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted. So that's another one that works really well. Just flip a coin, and if you don't like the result, you know that that's the one you wanted. And again, just remember, there are no wrong choices. I forget the percentage of time, but you always end up where you're supposed to be. So if you think you're making a wrong choice, you're not. Anyway, the percentage I was talking about is an aircraft, when it's flying, is off course whatever percentage of time, but it always ends up where it's supposed to be. So know that if you make a choice and you think you've made the wrong one, you haven't made the wrong one. You never make a wrong choice. And even if in the immediate whatever you think, oh, I didn't make the right choice because something maybe cost you more money, or maybe it's in a relationship, it didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to, or whatever, there's always a result that has come out of that you needed to learn something or to experience something. So know that there's just no wrong choices. Trust you, trust your internal knowing, make a choice, and just play with it. And a little bonus tip here, because I needed to learn that this week. Don't make it so damn serious. It wasn't life or death because if it's life or death, tell you what, if it's a life or death choice, you're gonna make it like that in an instant. Me choosing the right contractor wasn't a life or death choice, so don't make it so darn serious. I know I made it way too darn serious. So play with these tools, have fun with it, and I'll talk to you next time.